Hi Samantha, further to my email, here is a short video which is going to help you understand how to use System 7 and at the very least get started, and as you work through it you'll see things will be quite familiar. It's very flexible and quite logical. It's really been designed as a place to start, especially when you're under the pressure of a looming assessment and rating visit. So what we would do is obviously you would go straight to the login page and you'll have your username and password. So you'll submit and log in. This will actually refresh straight back to the home page, but the difference is up here on the right, the audit home and the little rocket ship. If you press that link, it's going to take you to the actual working page. So I'll just expand this so we can see it a bit better. You've got all of your, pardon me, you've got all your details here in the menu, which you can change. I always believe it's good to go into your account, make sure your details are correct in the dashboard. So your account details down here, and also the other is to look at the audit information link, which will allow you to submit your days to complete, and you can put a date in there and then you have a countdown, basically to create some accountability, and I do believe that's a very good thing to use. This one in this left menu here where you see reset, basically don't touch that. It won't obviously reset the whole program, but you won't do that until you've completed the report and you are basically ready to just generate a copy for archiving. So I'll go back to Audit Home, which will take us to the main page or main dashboard. As you can see, these are orange at the moment. They start out white, and when you begin working on them, they turn to orange. When you complete them, each one turns to green. It's also recorded down here in this area called Audit Progress. As you complete modules behind these, it will count down or count up until you have 100% complete the program. When we are underway, and this is probably the most important thing, because as much as my whole life and working life is governed by the internet, I don't trust it. So if you were to do a block of work, you'll go to Generate Report, and you'll hit that, and it gives you selections. If you've completed Quality Area 1, then you can unblock these others, untick them, whatever you wish to have in this report, and submit, and it'll send you a PDF of where you're at this particular stage. It's just something that at the end of the program you can archive it and reset for next time, but during it, it's just a good way to keep a backup, although we're keeping backups within the system. So let's have a look behind a module. We'll go to Quality Area 7 because it's not in progress yet. It'll open up into modules. These modules are not specifically aligned to every element. Some of them are combined and they're not particularly in order. What we've tried to do is group things so that it's easy to work through. So let's just open up module 1, and it's going to be a very simple working page. We have the related element and regulation. Now the question we have here is available to cite. We're asking this to ourselves because maybe this is how an assessor would approach it, or I've asked those questions of assessors, and this is what they're looking for. So in this case we have evidence of the implementation of appropriate governance arrangements at the service, including records of decisions by the governing authority as applicable. So we have a location for these documents which are not necessarily where they have to be, but it's a good place to start. So we have a governance folder, which may well be in the office or behind a reception area, and as applicable to your own arrangements. We have some suggestions, but ultimately, if you know you have these in place, you're going to put down some notes in the audit notes, and you'll see below it actually auto-saves. And additional notes are really if you're going sort of beyond what you require, or you just want a space to have other prompts. But ultimately, if you find that this is a complete area, you're happy with what you have in relation to what there is available to cite, you'll complete the module. You'll click complete. And obviously it indicates that, and we'll move on to the next one. The next one being available to cite, information provided to parents about relevant governance structures, which may include the name of the approved provider and the person to contact to make a complaint. Now, a lot of this information is combined in a parent and family handbook. When I was involved on the ground with the chain of services, our parent family information handbook had everything in it that the family needed to know, including the names of the approved providers and contacts, the complaint or grievance policy, forms and so forth, anything that was directly related that was going to help families at that time. But also this is obviously advice based on where assessors would consider the first place to look. So if you didn't have, or what you felt your information was inadequate, you would make some notes and you would set in progress. So it's not complete yet. You need to come back to this, and your notes that you jot down in the program here what you need to do. There are objectives that you need to complete and come back. So if we went back to this quality area, because ultimately we're not going to finish this all at once, we need to know where we're up to. So I don't need to visit the first module. I certainly need to go back to the second module because it's not complete. I've got work to be done. Let's jump to module 4. And in this case, we are looking at rosters and staffing arrangements that reflect the importance of educator continuity on a day-to-day basis. This is found in staff rosters and in sign-out sheets. We have our suggestions, of course. Some of our suggestions are very basic and simple because we're trying to keep it that way. In other areas, in particular some of the health and safety areas, it can be quite detailed. This is an area which we're having upgraded and improved all the time. So what we have in here will be very closely related to what any assessor is going to look at on the day and expand on that. And we'll also be having tick boxes here that is archiving where we're up to in a very detailed fashion, but that's yet to come. But in this case, once again, if we felt as though we were complete, I'd even write complete, but we can complete module, and we move on. So going back to the audit home, which was that primary page with the quality areas, you can see quality area now is in progress. For me, if I'm looking at this, say I'm as a director and I've got potentially I might have my nominated supervisor working on areas, I might have my educational leader working on areas, then I know where we're up to and I can check it. I'll be working on areas myself, and I would go in and I would generate a report. In looking at it, you can see that it's logical and it's been done for time efficiency, but most of all, it's a place to start. It's an organized place to start. And if you flick into any of these quality areas, you'll see that I've worked on one or two. These are all usually for this purpose in videoing and instruction. In this case, of course, this particular quality area isn't as big as the others. Quality area 2 has quite a few pages there. In essence, my advice is to take your time, have a bit of a look through, get quite familiar, have a play with how it works. Make sure that your internet connection is good. It's like everything else, online. A good internet connection can save you a lot of hassles which aren't associated with the program, more so just the speed of operation. So I hope this helps. Send me any questions you like and ask anything of Brooke as we go through the process. I want to thank you very much for supporting the program. This is scratching the surface. It is associated, obviously linked to the Childcare Centre desktop, where in a lot of our suggestions we'll have those physical solutions, and we're working hard on that. But I do believe what I have here and what I'm working on here will hold us in good stead in the future, and we'll be in touch soon with any updates that we may have. So thank you, and I'll be in touch very, very soon.